I am trying to platinum every Souls game ever, and today we start with the one and only Elden Ring. In my opinion, the greatest game of all time, and the game which got me into Souls games. But I have a confession, I have never beaten the game without summons.
You what?
Ignore this video, by the way, it was made after this one. Now, you might be wondering how a scrub like me can possibly beat one of the hardest games ever made without using summons. Well, you'll see. We start butt booty naked with a club and get folded instantly by the grafted scion. Once we wake up, we head straight to Vare for his questline. He calls us Maidenless, and we head to Gatefront to get Torrent. After exploring the world, reminiscing about my first playthrough, we head to fight Neregus for his weapon. This NPC also joins us, turning this into a Jujutsu Kaisen fight.
Fight back, nigga! Fight back, nigga! Fight back!
Next, while we were heading to Caelid, Melina takes us to the Roundtable Hold, earning us our first achievement. Now, some of the games I own are on PC, including Elden Ring, so I know it's supposed to be called as achievements, but Platinum just kinda sounds better, and it looks better on the thumbnail as well. And since the trophies are the same on both, hopefully I won't get a lot of hate for this, right? In Caelid, we had to Fort Feroth to collect one half of the Dectus Medallion and Radagon Sword Seal, which is a talisman that gives us a lot of free levels, but we do take a lot more damage. Next, we kill the big dragon Greol for more runes, so that we can level up. And now we go and take on our first boss, Margit, the fell Omen. Looking back on this footage after having beat the game at level 1, holy shit, I sucked at this game. I both love and hate Margit as the first boss because I can see why someone who's never played any Souls games stumbles their way into Stormveil as the first thing they do would call this game unfair. After a shit ton of tries, we finally defeat Margit, earning us our first boss achievement. Next, I head to Castle Morn for another boss achievement and got my ass handed to me by this overgrown son of a bitch. So I went back to Stormveil Castle to kill Godrick the Grafted. But before trying to fight him, I made the long journey to Blacksmith EG to upgrade our weapon and decided to try and fight the Castle Morn boss again. And this time, we defeated it, giving us another achievement. I have nothing much to talk about Godrick the Grafted. During a first playthrough, when you talk to multiple NPCs, you keep hearing about this Godrick the Grafted, and then you fight him and he goes down first try. Very fitting if you know the lore about this boss. Well, he is a main story boss, so we get an achievement. Next, we head to Hogwarts and meet another overgrown son of a... What are they feeding these animals in the lands between? Somebody needs to do a video on Elden Ring's agriculture. I would love to see that video on my timeline. Call me Peter the way I get an achievement for killing someone else's dog. In my previous video, I talked about how scared I was of Rennala. Well, it came from doing this video. This boss pissed me off so much, I travelled all the way to Altus Plateau to kill another NPC for this weapon, and I still couldn't kill this boss. This is some serious skill issue. I completed various questline for more levels, and I still couldn't kill her. This is so embarrassing. So I decided to get good by first doing some mini bosses, and finally, the one time I get naked in front of a woman, she fucking dies. Well, at least we get an achievement. Next, I had to Siofra River, for which we travelled down this well and witnessed one of the greatest scenarios in Elden Ring and light up the pillars to trigger the boss fight. The Ancestor Spirit is one of those bosses that felt very underwhelming compared to the area that they were in. What I mean by that is, when you think of Elden Ring boss fights, this one doesn't really come to your mind first, but that's fine. We need bosses like this to make bosses like the next one feel more special. After killing this one, we get another achievement. Spoiler alert for the DLC, there is a reason that FromSoft decided to use this boss as the final boss of the DLC. The first boss to be nerfed not just once, but twice. General Radahn is, dare I say, one of the best bosses in FromSoft history, in both lore and gameplay. Regardless of your opinions about the DLC, we can all agree that the Radahn Festival was one of the best moments of playing this game. After defeating him, we get another achievement. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I got an achievement for Royal Knight Loretta. She was very easy, nothing much to say because this is the ghost version of her. I'll save my yapping for the real one. Having defeated Radahn, a meteor crashes into the map and a way to another underground area opens up. So we head there, kill our mimic, we get an achievement for that and grab an item for an important questline. Next, we kill the Godskin in Volcano Manor. I'll speak about the Godskin when the time comes, but for now we get an achievement for killing him. We need to collect all legendary weapons, summons, spells and other things. This is going to be the most tedious part of the platinum, but we have to start somewhere, so we return to Fort Main where we fought Radahn and find a gang boss fight with 2 mini bosses including a Crucible Knight and an overgrown son of a. After defeating them, we get the Ruins Greatsword. Next, we get achievements for killing Commander O'Neill and Elemer Of The Briar, who is the first boss ever I have killed without taking damage. Next, to access the royal capital, we fight the Draconic Tree Sentinel so that we can get to our next achievement, which is for killing Godfrey the Golden. I just made that name up, it's just Ghost of Godfrey, who I'll talk about later on when we fight the real one. While we are in the capital before things happen to it, we collect another legendary weapon.
Graceless, tarnished. What is thy business with these thrones? Thy kind are all of a piece. Pillagers, emboldened by the flame of ambition. Have it writ upon thy meager grave. Felled by King Morgott, last of all kings.
Morgott's shackle makes the fight so much easier. Now, how do I explain why does such a thing exist in a game that's supposed to be so hard? Well, you see, since Morgott looks different than the rest of his family, his mother imprisoned him in the sewer jails with the shackle, which is very sad, but he does give us an achievement, so we just have to kill him. Next, before progressing any further, I decided to just explore and do as many mini bosses as I could while collecting legendary items for achievements. I also fight a boss I've never fought before, and I never realized it was actually an early game boss because I did this to the boss. We do get an achievement for it. We kill a few more bosses like the Magma Wyrm. I hate this boss. Ancient Dragon Lanciax, which weirdly doesn't have any achievement for killing the thing. After all this, we take on the Fire Giant, who goes down in the first try. I have already complained about this boss in my previous videos, so I'm gonna move on. Before we burn the Erdtree, we have to do a few things. We progress Rani's questline, one of the questlines which will give us a different ending. At the end of the questline, we get to fight Astel, who gets absolutely destroyed by my build. Now, I won't talk about my build because I've already explained it in my previous video. So if you want the build, go check out that video. Another questline we need to complete for another ending is Fierce questline, for which we need to fight the second worst gang fight in the whole game. We do get an achievement for killing them. After we take a coffin, yes, we travel through coffins in this game, we reach the Deeproot Depths, where we fight fierce champions and then fight the third best dragon fight in the whole game. And we get an achievement for it. Next, we need to unlock one last area, the Haligtree. To do this, we need to kill Commander Niall, and I absolutely hate this boss because this time the boss gets to use the summons, and the summons make the fight really hard. So we just resort to cheesing him. And after killing him, we have unlocked the Haligtree. Now, having unlocked most areas in the game, I go around and collect some more legendary items. A few more things before we burn the Erdtree. I forgot to talk about Loretta in the Haligtree. Now, first time I fought this boss, I hated her, but now after having beaten her at level 1, I kinda love this boss fight. We also kill Rykard, who's really easy. I mean, he's a gimmick boss after all, so we get achievements for both of those. And we also have to kill Mohg twice. He has some sort of a ghost version of him down in the Leonine sewers. And since he's Morgott's brother, he too has a shackle. Man, I feel bad for Mohg. Not only did he have a bad childhood, but also what happened to him with Mikkel in the DLC and all. Yikes. But hey, achievements are achievements. I don't have footage for this, but somewhere along the way I activated Godrick's rune and got an achievement for it. Alright, we finally light up the Erdtree and arrive at Farum Azula, giving us an achievement. Now that we are in Farum Azula, we switch from a filthy dex build to a strength build. But it's the exact same build, just with strength weapons. Just wait till we get to Malekith to see what they can do. Before Malekith, we have to fight the Godskin Duo. Fuck this boss. Fuck sleep pots. Fuck this game. After killing the duo, we get the final upgrade materials to fully upgrade our stuff, giving us another achievement. Next, we find another legendary talisman and fight an NPC called Banal, who invades us, and after killing him, we get the Blasphemous Claw. And with that, we can parry Malekith.
Oh, death. Become my blade once more.
After waking up in Leindale, we head to our final legendary item. And at this point, I've gotten every legendary item and achievements for them. And so, we get our final achievement. And the achievement for completing Elden Ring. If you are wondering how this happened, well, this is not my first playthrough obviously. Alright, we are left with a few bosses. So let's begin, shall we? We start with Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. But you might be wondering, what happened to Gideon? Well, alright, speaking of Godfrey, I love this boss fight. I've already talked about this boss fight enough in my previous videos. I mean, the boss fight is so simple and doesn't need any flashing lights like a certain boss. Now on to the final boss fight. Well, it didn't really feel like the final boss fight because first, even with our bleed build, we absolutely destroyed the boss, even though both of them are immune to bleed. Secondly, we still have 2 more bosses left. I really enjoyed this fight, but Bale is just better. I don't make the rules. And now, we have one final fight left. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Heed my words. I am Malenia, Blade of Mikola. And I have never known defeat.
After a whole 75 attempts, we beat our final boss, Malenia. And with that, we have gotten every achievement in Elden Ring, our first Souls game. If you have watched till here, be sure to like and subscribe and drop a comment. It helps the video out a lot. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.